Okay, so it looks like we are live. Okay, alrighty. Thank you, Tilly, for being here today, and thank you everyone who is attending this interview. We're really excited to have you all here and excited for Tilly to share a little bit about herself. She's a content creator who has really evolved with this ever-changing adult industry. So
awesome. Hi guys, I'm Tilly. That was a great introduction. I don't really have anything more to say.
Okay, cool. So sorry, I was just having a little technical difficulty on my end. It looked like there was some feedback, but yeah, let's just get started with.
All right, and I apologize for any background noise. I'm not in the best and not in the quietest place right now, so I'll just talk loud.
It's okay. We're just gonna go with the flow, as is the theme of this talk today. So we wanted to start with asking you to share a little bit about how being a content creator has improved your life. So what would you say are like the top 3 reasons that
So the top 3 reasons or ways that being a content creator has improved my life. The first one would be the freedom to work absolutely anywhere. So I can travel, be completely independent. Like I'm in a car right now because I'm traveling and going wherever I want to. So that's like probably the highest on my list, is that I can go and be wherever I'd like to be. That's important to me because I love to travel. The second would be that I get to make great friendships. In this industry, you get to choose who you do or don't work with. So it's not like a normal job where you're stuck working with that one coworker that you just cannot stand. You don't have to work with anybody you don't want to. So you really just get to surround yourself with wonderful people. And then the third, I would have to say, it's just given me a crazy amount of confidence. Like, I think anybody in the industry can agree. It's so empowering to just make, your own little art form your whole life.
That's awesome. It's super cool to hear that. It sounds like you're able to make the job what you want, and your relationship with yourself has improved because of what you're doing. It seems like the best way to go. And then what would you say you're doing to really maintain and work on your well-being as a creator? The schedule can be pretty busy, and there's a lot to keep up with.
There is, and especially I feel like with our side of the social media influencer online work thing, it sometimes is hard to draw that line between personal life and work life, because you're kind of always working. There's no hours of operation here. So one thing that I do to really improve my well-being as a creator is I remind myself to set down the phone, stop working, and take some me time, because there's only a gray area between work life and personal life when you're not working a 9-to-5 job. It's always on your phone, so it's always in your pocket, and it's so easy to work all day long and never take a single break. So I just try to remind myself to just breathe, do some yoga, have some me time, clock out.
Boundaries are very important.
Yes.
Taking time for yourself, for sure. Okay, so moving on to some of the marketing things related to the job. Do you have a top strategy for your marketing on social media?
So if I had to say I had a top strategy for marketing on social media, I would say that it's consistency. And that's not really a strategy. So I'm sorry, but staying consistent in your posting and your interacting and your status on social media. It doesn't have to be every single day, but making sure that weekly you're on there several days, whatever you pick, whether it's going to be 3 days a week or 5 days a week or 7 days a week, if you stick to it, that will help, because your fans will come to expect things of you. If you post every Friday for 2 months, your fans are going to be waiting on Friday. So you can't just stop. I mean, maybe you could switch to Wednesday, but give them a heads up. So consistency is definitely important. Also staying up to date with any trends, holidays. I love all those little the fun ones that like National Donut Day and things like that. It's so easy to get some donuts and a great excuse to buy donuts and take some cute pictures with some donuts. And then it's interesting. The caption's interesting because they didn't know it was Donut Day. And yeah, it's a really easy thing to interact with. So staying on trends, staying, in the know with holidays, even the little tiny fun ones.
Yes. Any excuse to bring some fun into the work. And I really love what you shared about being consistent. It seems like that's probably like one of the most common denominators with creators who are able to do really well for themselves is they know how important the relationship with their fans is. And with any relationship, consistency is huge. Being able to depend on someone and definitely, yeah, like an expectancy is created, and that's a great thing to have between you and your fans, and keeping them on their toes, but also giving them something that they can rely on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like even if you're gonna go on vacation, because like I said, I like to vacation.
Yeah.
I like to have I'll write up captions for things, I'll get photos ready and have as little work as possible for myself to do, but I'm still working on vacation. Always.
Yes, and it's amazing. It's so hard to find a job where you can incorporate vacation in regularly. So
yes, yeah,
making it as seamless as possible. And then what would you say are the best performing social media channels for you? I feel like this is kind of like a controversial thing right now with
so right now my best performing one would be Instagram, but my best performing used to be Snapchat. So sorry, my phone just moved. I got all tongue tied there. So my best performing social media platform right now is Instagram. However, if you asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said Snapchat. And if you ask me in a year, I might say Twitter or TikTok or something totally different that hasn't even come out yet. So especially in our industry, it's so easy for our accounts to get deleted and things to be completely unreliable. And I feel like it's really important to just roll with the punches and be consistent, post on everything, have a presence everywhere, because you never know what's going to explode and you never know what's going to just be, have the rug pulled out from under you. So I feel like it's important to just be everywhere.
Yeah, for real. I'm honestly surprised that you said Instagram because it hasn't seemed like the safest space for creators, but then again, there it goes and surprises you. And especially actually, I would say that I've seen in the feed lately, I feel like creators are getting a little bit more creative with their like video content, and I've been able to see it staying up and being interacted with, and I haven't been hearing so much about anything getting taken down, but I'm sure it's different for everyone.
And with reels, I mean, Instagram is a whole can of worms for creators, but so just be consistent and try your best.
Yes. Definitely. It's important that we don't lose heart, because we are a force to be reckoned with and we're not going anywhere. And it's definitely all about trial and error.
Yeah, I like to say my spirit animal is a cockroach. I will keep coming back. You can't get rid of me.
Yeah, for real, for real. It gets stronger. Every life is just exponentially better.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the next question. I've seen that you've done some really cool collaborative work with other creators on Fancentro, and we like to talk a little bit about like the pros of doing networking and shout out for shout out with other creators. what do you think about doing collaborations? And with your experience, how would you recommend finding other influencers to collaborate with?
Okay, in the context of like social media growth.
Yeah, I guess so. In the context of social media growth and also diversifying your content, it's fun to create content if you have the opportunity to connect with people in person and film something together. Yeah, I guess maybe going into like a little bit of each side of what a collaboration would look like, whether or not it's like just a social media exchange or if it's an actual content exchange.
Okay, yeah. So as far as networking with other models and doing shout out for shout out across social media or paid premium platforms, I think it's completely worth it. I know a lot of people have, varying views on it, especially the shout out for shout out stuff. But I absolutely love it. I will even, when I like physically go and work with other models or other girls, I'll even do ones like, say they don't have premium sites, but they like to take sexy pictures and do things like that. If they're okay with me using those pictures on my social media, I'll take the time to go and do a photo shoot with them and get those photos because it's eye-catching on social media. They don't have to be on my premium site for it to make my social media look enticing. You know what I mean? As long as they're okay with being affiliated with me, who does have a premium site. So that I always have, that's an ethics thing, but that I always have to make clear. And then the shout out for shout outs, I think are totally worth it. And I know a lot of people get really shy, like, how do I start doing that? Because our circles can be really small in this industry when we decide to go be a content creator. It doesn't mean that we have a ton of content creator friends already.
Right.
So it can be kind of intimidating to go and meet people or reach out and say, hi, I'd like to film some really adult content with you, person I've never met before. Yes. So I'd say just stop being shy because your videos aren't shy and say hi. Just always be polite and just say, hey, I think your content is great. I think we would work great together. Do you want to do a shout out for shout out? Do you want to go to coffee and talk about working together? Or do you want to try doing a photo shoot together? If you're not ready to say, can we just film a video? Try a photo shoot. Ask the person to coffee. Get to know them first if that's your comfort zone. Otherwise, I've had girls that I've never met before in my life and we meet up and we make a ton of content. But it is always polite. I usually ask if they want to meet for coffee first. And then just see where the conversation goes. And a lot of times coffee never happens, but it's the polite way to say hi.
Definitely. It's like asking a content creator out on a date, trying to see.
It is. Yeah. I'm always like, do you want to like talk about ideas? And then we just start talking about ideas. But it's almost like asking permission to talk about that with them because it is still a sexual thing a lot of times.
Yeah, of course. Okay, awesome. That's great advice. Okay, so something that we wanted to get into because you're kind of like a business mogul, and we wanted to pick your brain a little bit about your marketing plan, and your business plan, but to make it practical and to not give too much away. What would you say are some good business goals for a content creator to set going into the new year?
Going into the new year. So not a new one, just as we go into this new year. Okay, yeah, I guess. So some business goals that I would recommend for content creators going into the new year. So I feel like you've heard me say this before. Stay consistent in your posting. So it doesn't have to be daily, just be consistent. Pick how often you're going to post and post that often. Okay. And then one other thing I personally advise against, I know people have mixed feelings about it, but personally, I will never apologize for not being consistent. A lot of times I'll see, especially with the holidays coming up or a busy time of year, I'll see people post like, I'm sorry, I haven't been active on here. Or they'll say, I'm about to be active again on this site or that site, or I'm sorry. And so in my opinion, you're pointing out that you're not consistent You're pointing out that you haven't been on there, and you're pointing out that your premium site that you want people to pay for has not been active, which lets people know that it may not be active in the future. And so I would not do that. I know things get busy, and I know you feel bad because you love your fans and you want to say sorry to them.
Right.
Maybe send them a direct message to the ones that you absolutely adore, but I would not publicly post that, hey, I have not been posting to my premium site that I want you to pay for. I would not do that. Don't do it, in my opinion. But any other pieces of advice other than just the super obvious staying consistent? Pieces of advice I would give to content creators going into the new year would be to, if you're not already doing it on your premium sites, to monetize your DMs. I know that's the most often question I get when people come to me and say, this is what I'm doing with my premium site. How do I make it more successful? And they always want to know, how do I get more followers? But I like to take a step back and say, what are you doing with your current followers? So if you have 100 followers, so they're all paying $10 a month, that's fantastic. Yeah. Are you making any more money off of them? Are you talking to them? Are you interacting with them? Because if you're not talking to them, they're less likely to stay because they're not getting the personal interaction. And if you're not talking to them or sending them anything, how are they ever going to tip you or buy something through the DMs? So I always like to point out and just share like my personal information, which may not at all reflect anybody else's. This is just mine. But I make 60 to 80% of my income on my premium sites through the DMs. Now that has nothing to do with how many followers I have. That's the other, 20 to 40% of my income. That I would be making that 20 to 40% of their subscriptions no matter what. So on top of that, I'm making the 60 to 80%. So if you're not selling things in your DMs, you're losing most of your money that you could be making. So that is the number one piece of advice that I have for content creators going into the new year. If you're not monetizing your DMs or not focusing on monetizing your DMs, do it right now. Go write up a bunch of DMs, mass DMs, sell some things in your messages, say hi to people, get on top of it, make a little schedule for yourself and stick to it because it will pay off immensely.
For real, 60 to 80% of your income is huge. Imagine
it's a huge amount. And when at first I had just followers and subscriptions. And then when I started monetizing the DMs, the subscription number stayed the same, but then bam, there was this huge other number from the DMs. So whatever amount of followers you have, you can monetize already. Rather, you should still want new followers, but that's always what I'm hearing is I need new followers when really, what are you doing with your current followers?
Yes, seriously. It shows too how important it is the way, interaction, obviously we've been talking about how the relationship and the connection that you build with the fans you already have is huge. But something that I've been seeing a lot lately and something we've been talking a lot about is how copy and captioning and titles are really important for making sales. And DMs are all about that. It's such an art going into making sales via DMs. And obviously, you know what you're doing. So yeah, it's definitely, hopefully we'll see a lot of creators really upping their income with monetizing their DMs in the new year.
I hope so, yeah.
Such great news to hear. Okay, cool. So we've got a little bit of time left. Let's see. Okay, really quick, let's just see if you had a desert island type of content to film, the only type of content you could film ever again, what would it be?
Oh man, I think it would be role play.
Ooh. Because
it's so much fun.
Yes.
I always just have a ball filming it all by myself in my house. And then Like, I feel like I was hanging out with a friend all day because I'm pretending that the camera is somebody. So I think role play.
Mhm.
At the same time, though, I don't do it very often, but I love to film outdoors. It's so
Ooh,
fun. It's hard to find outdoor spaces to film in, but it's so much fun.
yes, the element of risk is always exciting.
Yes.
And especially since you love travel and you really incorporate that side of yourself into your content, it seems like a
Yeah.
really easy thing to incorporate. I mean, not easy
Yeah.
because obviously public stuff is, you never know if you're going to get caught, but yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so this is kind of a segment for just for fun, and we wanted to do a quick like rapid fire this or that. So we're going to give you two options and you just have to choose one or the other.
Okay.
Sound good?
I'm ready.
Okay. Okay, so mini skirts or latex pants for feeling sexy.
Mini skirt.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Filming
Latex pants are
solo.
way too hard to put on.
Yeah. For real. For real. And then taking them off too. Once you start
Oh
sweating,
my God.
then you're screwed. Okay. Filming solo or filming with another creator.
With another creator.
Cool.
It's so much fun.
Yes. Good to vibe with someone else's energy. Okay. Filming at night or in daylight.
In daylight, because I like the natural lighting, but I'm also a morning person.
Cool. Yeah. I am also a morning person. Okay. Okay, this one is spicy and very hard in my opinion. Okay, would you rather never use a dildo again or never use a vibrator again?
That's a horrible question.
I know. Oh my goodness.
I would rather never use a vibrator again.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with I will keep the dildos.
Yes. I mean, yeah, because dildos you can use fingers. So
right? Yeah. Like you can still get the job done.
Yeah. I mean, what were people? I mean, before we had vibrators, everyone was
exactly. Yeah, you can't replace the dildo.
Yes, definitely. Okay. Would you rather receive lingerie or toys as a sexy gift?
Lingerie.
Yes, definitely. And it's always interesting too to see what someone would pick out for you to wear.
That's my favorite part about getting lingerie as a gift is like, what did you want to see me in?
Exactly. Okay, and then sort of a variation on this game. We're gonna do a run through of some options, and you're gonna let me know if you think that this thing is overrated or underrated. Okay, edible lingerie.
Overrated.
Definitely. And it gets so sticky.
It's so sticky. That's what I was about to like. It's way too sticky.
Yeah.
I like food in the bedroom. Yes. For some reason, when you make the food close, it's less fun.
Yeah. Yes. Something cool I just saw was Julia Fox, such a character. She created it started out as sort of like a lingerie set made out of leaves dipped in resin. Very interesting, kind of like an Adam and Eve vibe, which is very kinky.
That's very cool.
I don't think that's what she intended, but anyways. Okay, overrated or underrated music on during spicy moments?
Underrated.
Yes.
If you've got good taste in music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Sometimes I'm bad at that and I will pick the wrong song. And in the middle of it, I'll be like break thought in the moment and be like, that line is so weird to hear right now.
For real.
But I think it's underrated because when you have a good song on there, it's like, it's good. It's like karaoke.
Yeah, it can really turn things up a notch. But there's
Yeah.
nothing worse than if you have maybe a song and then you pick a radio based off of that song and then you're in the middle of things and then one random like song throws a wrench in and then you have to
Yeah.
like get up and change the song. Nothing worse than that. But at the same time, it's a real thing. And I feel like the awkward moments can be very grounding and very connective as well.
It can. Yeah. You just got to embrace the weirdness sometimes. Like, I'll just start singing. If it's that bad, like, I'll just start singing for you.
For real. Okay, flowers as a gift, overrated or underrated?
Underrated. I love flowers. I dated a guy that would, no matter what woman's house we were going to, if a woman lived there, whether it was like my mom or just like a friend of mine, he would always take flowers. And every single time, and I dated him for like a few weeks, but every single time he would come to my place, he would make sure that he brought something. It was usually flowers or like a bottle of wine, but like he said, never go to a woman's house empty-handed. Wow. And from now on, every time I date somebody or somebody comes over to my house, I'm like, where's my flowers?
You set the bar high.
I expect it.
For real. I feel like it's these things that some people say are overrated that tend to be underrated because
cool, because it's a small thing, but it's so nice. And then I get to look at them and think of you every time I see them.
Exactly. And it could be the shittiest bouquet. It doesn't even matter.
Oh my God, you can pick them out of the lawn. Bring me like daisies. I don't care.
For real.
It's the thought.
Yes, exactly. One of the best dates that I went on, someone walked up with a few like random like flowers that they picked off of a bush wrapped in a red napkin, and they came up to me with this tiny little bouquet, and I've never felt so much love before. So cool. Okay, last and final, overrated or underrated snacks after sex.
Oh, underrated. I love snacks in bed too. I don't even have them ready. Have them on the nightstand.
Yes, it's the modern day.
Like pre-plan my afterward sex snacks, please. Have them already there.
No more
That's
cigarettes.
Part of the date is like dinner, wine, dessert, the grocery store for snacks, and then bed.
Hell yeah. Yes, have them on the bedside table, just like waiting to go.
Ooh, or order the dessert to go from the restaurant.
Ooh.
And have that in bed afterwards.
Oh, but then you'd have to make sure that no one eats it on the drive home. And usually
that's true, because I might.
It's always risky.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Well, this was super fun. Loved getting to know you a little bit more, and I hope that everyone else did as well. We want to direct people to the pages where they can find you in case they want to stay in touch or ask any questions.
Yep.
So where can everyone find you on social media?
Twitter is tillytoy_tweets. And then my Instagram is tilly.toy.official. tillytoyofficial.
Awesome. Cool.
And those are the only two that really matter to me right now.
Those are the only ones.
I'm sure you can find me on TikTok. If you search Tilly Toy on anything, I'm sure you can find me.
Yeah, there are quite a few options, but okay, cool. And then on our end, we have an amazing team of success coaches that are genuinely very happy and interested in assisting anyone a part of the Fancentro team with their growth. We offer group walkthrough sessions to get familiar with the platform, as well as one-on-one coaching sessions. And you can reach out to any of us on our social media accounts as well. And we're here for you. We want to see you growing. And hopefully some of the things that Tilly shared today will help aid you in your success. And we just wish everyone the best. Thank you, Tilly, for joining us. It was really fun having this conversation.
Yes, thank you so much for having me.
All righty, I think we're going to call it here, and we'll see.
Awesome. Thank you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.